Hello everyone, I am Kirti Dalvi, Assistant Professor at Sarfat College, Pune. Today we will learn about the management of cooperative social responsibility TYBBA subject. Corporate corporate social responsibility. So corporate social responsibility. See this diagram carefully. So corporate social responsibility means CSR. So what is mean CSR? What is a CSR? Corporate social responsibility is the continuing commitment by businessmen to behave ethically and contribute to economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their families as well as of the local community and society at large. CSR is a self-regulating business model that helps a company be socially accountable to itself, its stakeholder, and the public. CSR is the voluntary role and contribution on the part of the business community towards a better social and environmental development, which is beyond their investment in organizational development. So we can say CSR about business giving back to the society. The includes activities of the organization towards the stakeholders. So stakeholder may be employees, society, consumers, or government. So there are three steps by following which section 135 can be complied with. Okay. So all the corporate work doing the CSR under the section constitution section 135 35. So there is the step 1. Check whether the company, so here we are going to see which company will come under the section 135 and how it will be implement the CSR in the company, in the organization. So there are the some steps. So first step is that check the whether the company attract the provision of section 135. Okay. So here is the flowchart. If yes, then what will be next steps? If no, then stop. If the company is not come under the section 135, then the process is stop. And if it comes in under the section 135, so what is the next process? If yes, then second step, constitute CSR committee. Okay, so they have to make a CSR committee in the organization or in the company. Then steps 3, formulate and recommended CSR policy to the board. Okay, whatever government board is there, so what kind of CSR that company wants to do or it will be doing, so that policies they have to mention in CSR report or CSR formation to the respective board. Step 4, monitor the policy time to time and ensure the implementation. So every time what kind of social responsibility they are doing, they have to monitor, maintain a record and implement that. So these are the steps of implement CSR in the organization. So question is that what is the section 135? So it is the Constitution section 135. So in that section there is the criteria to implement the CSR or which company will come under the CSR. There is the criteria. So in that criteria, the company having net worth 500 crore or more than. Next criteria, turnover of the company is 1000 crore or more than. Net profit of company is 5 crore or more than. Okay, so if the all above the criteria will fit in company, then company is doing the CSR or it comes under the CSR. Okay, so company require the net worth 5 crore, turnover of the company is the 1000 crore and net profit if the 5 crore, then company will implement the CSR. If any one condition is not applicable or it not fit in a criteria, so that company is not doing the CSR. So if the one organization or one company wants to for form the CSR committee, so what is the criteria? So there is the formation of CSR committee. So every company which CSR criteria is applicable shall constitute a corporate social responsibility of the board, that is CSR committee. Okay, so what criteria? Just now we seen in a last slide. Minimum 3 or more director must from the CSR committee. So minimum 3 directors are required in this committee. Among those 3, at least one director must be an independent director. Okay, so what is the independent director? That independent director roles, appointments are comes in a lesson number 3. So there are the detailed information of the independent director. An unlisted public company or private company shall have its CSR committee without any independent director if an independent director is not required. In case of foreign company, the CSR committee shall comprise of the at least 2 persons, which one person shall be a resident in India. Authorized to accept on behalf of foreign company the services of notice and other documents. Also other person shall be nominated by the foreign company. Okay, if the foreign company is going on in India, so at least one director out of 3, one director should be from India. So if the company net profit is a 5 crore, so 2% of 5 crore means 10 lakh rupees at least he have to, that company have to spend on the CSR activity. So what qualifies as a CSR activity? First one is eradications of hunger, poverty and malnutrition, promotion of healthcare including preventing healthcare and sanitizing, including contribution to the Swachh Bharat Kosh set up by the CG for promotion of sanitization and making the available safe drinking water. Second, promotion of education including special education and employment enhancing vocation skill, promotion of gender equality and empowerment of women, setting up the home and hostel for women and orphans, setting up old age home, daycare centers, and such other facilities for senior citizens and measures for reducing inequalities faced by the socially and economically background groups. Next is the environment sustainability. Fifth is the protection of national heritage, arts and culture, including restoration of building and sites of historical importance and works of arts. Measure of the benefits of armed forces, war widows, and their dependents. Training to promote rural sports, nationality, recognize the sports, Paralympic sports, and Olympic sports. Contribution to the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund and any other fund set up by the CG or state governments for socio-economic development and relief and funds for the welfare of scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes or the backward classes, minorities and women. Next is the contribution of funds provided to the technology incubator located in an academic institution which are approved by the CG. Then second last is a rural development project. Last is the slum area development. Okay. So in slum area we require the healthcare centers or health and hygiene, skill based education in vocation also, give the employment to the housewife. Okay. So these all the criteria under the CSR activities. So company can do this kind of activities under the CSR. Okay. So company can doing the CSR hunger free nations. So they can give the fund to the poor people in education sector. So they can give the uh, study material to the slum areas children, or open the school in some slum a- area. Gender equality. Next, nature environment, save the environment. Cultural, in sports also, like Paralympic and Olympic, they can promote to the people who wants to participate in sport, or who the students are interested in a sports, they can do the fund by the from the CSR. Rural development also. So these all the sector sectors are covered under the CSR. So company can do the CSR in all about the sector. So what is the board responsibility? After taking into the account the recommendation made by the corporate social responsibility committee, approve the corporate social responsibility policy for the company and disclose the content such policy in its report, and also place it on one company website. Okay, so every company or organization comes in under the CSR, so they have to give the mention the CSR activities in the company website. Ensure that activities as are included in corporate social responsibility policy of the company are undertaken by company. Here the company mentions in the form of CSR, company is not getting any return profit. Okay, so zero investment or zero profit they have to do the CSR. If they are getting money, they are getting some income in the form of money via CSR, so that kind of activity will not consider at under the CSR. Okay, so CSR helps to the organization to save the tax. So here we learn about the social responsibility, what criteria to form the CSR, okay, and which sector or which area CSR activity can done by the company. Thank you.